Hey out there, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. A couple of announcements before we get started. First of all, word on the street is, and I'm not making this up, that kids who aren't turning in their assignments are getting visited by the cops, and that's not a position you want to be in. So, I know when we started this thing, I put the assignments on the website, and I said you could drop them off whenever you want to. But if you know anybody out there, most of you, I know everybody's doing their work. But if you have any friends who aren't clued in to the fact that we have this Google Classroom with these awesome videos, let your friends know so they know that they can upload their work here and they can get credit for it. And then hopefully law enforcement will not be visiting their house. Second announcement, we have some wonderful birthdays today, I hope. Let's give a big birthday shout out to Neil Durlak. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy your cake today. Isabella Briley, congratulations to you. We give you applause. Will Leclerc, it's his birthday. He's 24 today, so congratulations, Will. And Sophia Duran, this is her birthday, and she's 11. So congratulations to all of you folks. I may have been wrong on the date and the ages a little bit, but just forgive me because we're kind of making this up as we go along here, flying by the seat of our pants. You know, we've read a number of stories this year about canines, about dogs. Who can forget Weep No More, My Lady? Of course, Old Yeller. I mean, Old Yeller, I just cried for 6 days when I read Old Yeller. I still sometimes cry just even thinking about Old Yeller. But, you know, I've never been a fan really of dogs. Dogs have not been my favorite kind of animal, primarily because they smell and they drop their hair all over the place. I think if it weren't for those two things, I would really dig dogs. But they do. But, you know, over the years, I've kind of mellowed out a little bit. And now I've really come to, when you start to see things from a different perspective, you can see the wonderful things about other things. So dogs is one of those things. As I've looked at dogs over the years, I can see there are actually a number of wonderful qualities about dogs. And so I've kind of shifted, I've evolved. Now my attitude toward dogs is dogs are really okay. And so I thought if I could change my mind about dogs, perhaps you could change your mind about something else, like you know, chicken nuggets from places other than Chick-fil-A, or about reading. So I want to give you today just my 6 reasons. I just jotted these down, things I've been thinking about, 6 reasons why dogs are now a-okay with me. The first reason is dogs don't care if you wake them up. Have you ever noticed this? Like humans, if you're like, come on, honey, we're at grandma's, you're like, dogs are just like, okay, what are we doing now? It's like they were never even asleep. It's crazy. They're not groggy. They're not grumpy when they wake up in the morning or in the afternoon or in the middle of the night. Whenever you wake them up, doesn't matter. It's like they were never asleep. So that's a wonderful thing about dogs. Number 2, dogs don't care about money. You know, there's this expression that the love of money is the root of all evil. If that is true, dogs are the most unevil animals on the planet because they do not care. They don't have a currency. They don't have a barter system. They don't even have a monetary system of any kind at all. You try to bribe a dog with money, you're not going to get anywhere because dogs are, they're not very, what's that word? They're not very money lovers things. I don't know. They don't really care about money. Number 3. This is a really important one. Dogs don't sweat. Can you imagine a dog running up into your lap and you petting it and it's just filled with sweat because it's been out running? Well, you don't have to imagine it because dogs don't sweat. You can pet a dog and he's dry. And that's a wonderful thing. Number 4, dogs are pretty good nutritionists. And the reason I say that is even though they don't necessarily know a lot about like vitamin A and B and rickets and whatever, they will eat whatever you put in front of them. So unlike kids who, when parents try to say like, no, we're not going to eat chocolate, we're going to have this asparagus candy instead, then they don't complain. They just eat it. And they eat all of it. And they only drink water. They don't drink soda. They don't drink alcohol. So they are very healthy individuals. And that may explain why a lot of them, why most of them are much healthier. They don't get the same diseases we do. They don't get the diabetes. They don't get things like that. because but probably because they're such good nutritionists. Now I know, don't I know there's a diabetes that you can get that is you're born with, and that's a terrible. All diabetes is terrible. So I'm going to go on to number 5. Dogs don't whisper. Now this is, you may think this is not a big deal, but it is, because dogs, a lot of times, if you're asleep a long time, they will want to come in and wake you up. And usually they do this by just kind of tugging on your blanket or maybe licking your face, which is, now that I think of it, a really weird way to wake somebody up. But they don't whisper. Like if you have a kid, say, and he wants you to get up, he might come in like, hey, can you get up? Can you wake up? It's time to watch cartoons. Dogs don't do that, because how weird would that be if you're laying there and a dog just comes into your ear and he starts whispering things to you to try to get you up? It'd be creepy. But dogs don't do that. They don't whisper. And the last one is, dogs are not easily offended. And that is very nice, because we know, as you know, we all say things sometimes that we don't mean to say to offend other people, and it hurts them and it hurts us. And but dogs, you can say anything to them. I was in front of a dog one time, and I was eating a corn dog, and I was just saying like, hey dog, look, it's a corn dog. Oh, are you a corny dog? Look, I'm eating a dog. Didn't care. Dog didn't make any fuss. If that were a human, if that were like a human dog or whatever, there would be protests all the way down the street. So dogs are kind of relaxy kind of animals, and that's good. And that's why it's nice to have a dog around. Now, maybe you don't have a dog, then you're like me. I don't have a dog either, but I do have a corn dog. And sometimes that can be just as comforting. So those are my things. 6 things about dogs that are really good. Hopefully it's taught you to look at things from a different perspective. What are you not liking about this coronavirus thing? Are you not liking all the work you have to do? Look at it from a different side. What if you didn't have to do any work, and then you wouldn't get an education? You'd have to repeat the grade all over again. It's all about your perspective. All right, so happy birthday to all you folks. I will see you guys again tomorrow, and have a great day until then.